I'll go ahead and start this video by saying that most people online like to overcomplicate what it really takes to be successful when advertising because it makes them look more valuable. A lot of marketers are nowadays afraid of losing their job to AI, and they like to make their marketing process look a lot more complicated than it really is. And I'm here to unveil a very simple framework that allows you to be successful with Facebook ads. And that's the exact same framework that I've used in the past year, allowing me to spend over $9.6 million on ads on behalf of our clients, all the while it's generating over $30 million in client revenue. Now, if you're new to the channel and you don't yet know who I am, my name is Justin and I'm the founder at FadeAdvertising.com, an online marketing growth firm specializing in elevating thriving businesses by simplifying online marketing. So with that being said, let's get straight into it. First things first, right? Remove paid advertising for a second, remove the online marketing space, and just think of marketing at its core. Marketing is a bridge. It brings customers on the one side of that bridge to the product. And the bridge helps customers kind of get closely more and more aware to the said product. And by the time they've crossed that entire bridge, they're so warm and they want that said product. It's helping tunneling or funneling in the vision of a customer towards said product. And there's various ways or analogies I like to imagine myself when I think again about marketing. I would see not only a bridge, but imagine one of those train bridges, right? Where they go through kind of a tunnel on a bridge. Have you ever seen one of those? It's like a bridge and a tunnel at the same time. Well, I feel that's the best way to describe marketing, because when you're behind that bridge, right? You're a certain customer with a certain set of identity, right? You are aware to a greater or lesser level of the said product or the other side of that bridge. It's very small. You see it very, very far. You see the light at the end of that tunnel. It's a very small circle and it doesn't really seem interesting because you don't really see anything past that said tunnel. But then the more you go through the tunnel, the bigger that little circle gets at the end, the bigger the light seems. And then the closer and closer you get towards the end of the tunnel, now you start seeing that there's like mountains and a huge landscape and there's water, and you're like, wow, once you get past the tunnel, you see this amazing view out there and it's just beautiful. You wouldn't have imagined that at the start of the tunnel. And I'm going back to marketing here and saying it all starts with a superior product. And I know this sounds very cheesy, but I'm telling you, the best marketers in the world will have a very, very hard time advertising a poor product. And a lot of business owners just kind of stay stuck thinking they have a very unique product, but they just don't. They sell something that's inferior to competitors, or at least too closely related to competitors. And I've said it time and time again on the channel. When it comes to both e-commerce brands to info product businesses, and for that matter, even local business alike, honestly, any sort of business out there, you can focus on functional based selling or brand based selling. And you see that time and time again, where brand based selling is you don't necessarily need to have a superior product if you have a superior brand, because people are going to buy for the brand in itself. Like again, taking Nike or Adidas as an example, are their products very superior in quality to other businesses out there? Then probably not, right? There's most likely better fabrics, like well-constructed garments that you can buy out there, but it's the brand is what really does the selling more than the technicality of the said product. The same is true for an e-commerce business, right? Where, especially in the fashion space, where it's very hard to differentiate yourself from competitors purely from a product standpoint, then build a better brand, a better and bigger brand. And that becomes essentially like that same bridge. Talking about marketing, it's customer, bridge, brand. So you replace the product by the brand in itself. Same thing is true in the agency or the info product space as an example, right? A lot of agencies or core sellers out there, they don't necessarily have the best service or customer experience, or it's a very marketing heavy business. The brand is really what does the selling in itself, right? We've probably all seen or been victimed of that, where like we see something that looks so good on the outside and then you get on the inside, you're like, well, what is that? How does that person get all these good testimonials? How does that person really get all these great reviews and all of this attention? It's mid at best, you know what I mean? So we've probably seen businesses like that, and that's usually because they focus on selling the brand and creating an image around this said business. So first things first is you need to have either a superior brand and or a superior product in order to succeed with marketing. That's like step one. Now, step two is really nowadays, if you're gonna focus on paid social, it's entirely creative based. Creative is that new targeting. Creative is what helps you find new customers. You set your targeting to broad, no matter if it's a new ad account, an existing ad account, no matter if, well, Justin, for me, currently interest or lookalikes are crushing it, it does not matter. Set your ad account to broad, do yourself a favor. You'll expose yourself and your business to as many eyeballs that possibly exist in the marketplace that might or may not want to buy from you. Whereas if you're in a lookalike or if you're using an interest-based audience, you know you're limited. There's probably other people outside of the said interest or other people outside of the said lookalike lookalike that are interested into your products. You're just unable to target them. So you know that at scale, anyways, you'll have to go broad someday or another. And you also don't want to add an extra variable in your advertising process where you're like, is my targeting right? Is my audience big enough? We're eliminating all of these questions by saying, hey, look, the only thing that could possibly be wrong with my advertising strategy is my creatives. I just don't have the right creatives. That's 80% of the answer to my current ROAS or cost per lead or cost per acquisition problems, which now expanding on creative being the focal point of your ads, then it's like, well, how do you consistently build better and good ad creatives? Well, you need a set research and testing process, which is what we do and keep trying to showcase out here on YouTube, right? Which is essentially when it comes to our research, we research about initially the persona, so the avatar we're trying to appeal to with their ad creative. So who are we designing the ad creative for? What's their age? What's their gender? Where are they situated? What do they like? What do they dislike? What have they tried before? What other products have they been exposed to? What solutions have they tried that failed? And why was that? What are some comments these people are leaving online? What are some situations they're facing in their day-to-day life? What other brands in completely unrelated industries are they buying for? All questions that help you think of ad angles, helps you think of the strongest positioning for your ads, awareness level, depending on where that same persona, right? A same persona could be at various stages on that same bridge that marketing is. So then how do you speak to them at these different levels? When I think about creating ad creatives, I think, again, persona research, I think mass market desire research, I think positioning, so the awareness level, I think how sophisticated my market is. So do I need a new mechanism? Do I need to simply have stating my claim? Do I need to have an embellished mechanism? Do I need to have a guarantee? Right? This is how sophisticated my space is. And seriously, if you track every single one of these components for every ad creative you make, so every static or video ad or carousel or GIF or motion graphic you launch as an ad, your team is able to tell, okay, here was the persona, here was the research backing this persona, here's this ad's copy and headline, and here's the mass market desire, the sophistication stage, and the awareness level backing this copy and headline and the script of this said ad. And here's the research backing these said components. Okay, now if it worked or didn't work, then let me try and tweak some of these components and keep making more volume of creatives. Then it becomes inevitable to succeed, right? It's like if you have a strong product and you keep repeating this creative framework, it's inevitable to succeed. There is no way you can derail off of that bridge, going back to a train, going on a bridge with a tunnel, right? The tunnel is, imagine this being a secure tunnel in this case. It's like, look, there's no other way than to go in a straight line right ahead. And that's the same thing here when it comes to a creative process. So it's like, if something is going wrong, if you're not seeing the results that you would like to see with your ads, typically it's going to be wrong either at the product level. When I say product, it just doesn't necessarily mean that like your product doesn't look good or your product, doesn't have like a competitive edge. Product means not only the way it looks, it's the way it sounds, it's the way it feels, it's the way it appeals to customers, the offer, that's all part of product market fit, right? Those are all the kind of components, if you want, of that will dictate whether or not a product will succeed in a specific time period, right? There's also market forces, which, man, I'm trying to think of more and more analogies now, but it's like, think of this as Mother Nature. You could have the best bridge constructed with the best material, with the safest path forward, but then if you have a tornado or a hurricane happening or a tsunami, the whole bridge could still crumble. Same thing with market forces, right? If you're working against a trend, or if you're too late to hop on a trend, or if there's government regulations, or if there's social media celebrities talking bad about you, or if there's a news outlet bashing your industry, there's a gazillion things that could be affecting the strength of your bridge, which again, the bridge is the analogy for marketing. Repeating that one more time. So that being said, like in my mind, as I explain this to you guys, I keep drawing a very clear picture of having this said bridge, having a train cross the bridge. And then now I'm like, okay, so basically that bridge has different awareness levels as you keep crossing the bridge. The pillars that make up this bridge are my persona research, my desire research, my awareness level research, my sophistication research. So I'm like, great. All of that could be strong, sound, and foundationally good. But if a tsunami or hurricane or whatever comes in, which is basically like a trend or a market force, you'd call it, that could still somewhat derail you. But I'm not talking about that too much today because you can't control these factors. And the last thing I haven't really touched touched that much on is website at this point, right? Website is also incredibly important. You can optimize the first click part of your funnel as much as you want, which is the ad part. If the website part isn't good, the last click, then there's still like it's not going to be congruent is what I'm saying right here. So everything I've talked about holds that bridge, right? The desire, the sophistication, the persona research, all has to follow on the landing page, whatever you deem to be successful with your ads. So let's project ourselves now in the future. And this is one of my last and final points here. Time horizon. Too many people have too short of a time horizon to make their marketing or just their business work as a whole. Have a longer time horizon. If you keep repeating the right actions on a long enough time horizon, it's again inevitable to succeed. So going back to that, thinking about, let's say you've tested now ads for about 3 months with the same process that I've talked about. You keep doing research, you read all your comments, you read all your product reviews, you read your competitors' reviews, you tweak the ads and make sure that now you've spotted patterns. You have 3 or 4 winning ads. You know your best mass market desires. You know the best angles you have. You know the best creators that you can work with for content. You know the best positioning of these said ads. Now you know how to make like higher converting ads faster. Hit rate increases. You hit a winning ad at a much faster pace. So now once you have or start to have a winning recipe on the advertising front, translate that on the website too. Start testing the same variables you do with your ads on your landing page. Have a landing page that is congruent with the same mass market desire that your ads talk about. Have a landing page positioned the same way people are seeing the ads that you have on the front end, right? Or perhaps have a continuancy if you want between the two of them. So I'll give you an example. If you have a problem aware ad, what you might want to have now a solution aware landing page. You might want to do like pass the ball between the ad and the landing page. Sometimes this might work. Other times you might have to just stay congruent, which problem aware ad, problem aware landing page. But with that being said, those are things I'd want to iterate on being you in order to succeed. And seriously, it's like if you're confident you have a superior product, if you're confident you've really analyzed the sophistication of your market and you know where you need to talk about in your message. Do you need a new mechanism? Do you need a guarantee? Do you need to have a better claim? Do you need to use identification? If you know how to position that message, you have a strong product, you've researched enough about your persona, desire, and positioning, and you've tested many different combinations of those, it's honestly inevitable for you to find success with ads. It seriously is as simple as this. But usually where people go wrong is ego gets in the way. It's usually a game of ego where people refuse to believe they have a bad product, or they refuse to believe that it's going to take 3 months, whereas they're convinced it's only going to take 2 weeks to find success with their ads. Or they refuse to believe that they need to improve the landing page because no, it was working a year ago, so it must keep on working today. Look, always keep that circle or cycle of iteration mentioned today, and you'll be sure to always renew your bridges material, always with the finest and the rarest materials, which will make it the most attractive bridge, but also the most secure and safest bridge out there. So that, hey, if a hurricane or tornado comes about, look, it might damage the bridge, but it might not make it crumble all the way. So if you made it all the way through this video and you are an e-commerce brand owner or an info product business owner wanting to work with a paid ads partner on Meta, Google, and or TikTok, click the link down below to book in a call to speak with our team today at paidadvertising.com. With that being said, I'm going to wish you an amazing day. Check out other videos on the channel for some more useful marketing tips, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.